statistics showed that people were out. They were going crazy. They were animalistic during this time. So crime was up. It had nothing to do with the fact that Trump was in office. They don't want to take the pandemic into, any reference at all as to why people lost their jobs. They just want to come in and talk about how Biden secured all these jobs and employment went up, and look at all these jobs, and look how wonderful I am. I created all this. No, it was the jobs that everybody had before the pandemic. So again, these Democrat voters, they fall for all of this. They listen to this. And for the morons that believe that there are less border crossings now than when Trump was in office, I hate to say this, but you have got to be a fool, just a fool inside and out to believe that remark.
Hi, guys. Welcome to cancelthisshow.com. Vic Faust, Meghan Marie Moret, Pro Joe in the house as well, making sure we look and sound as good as we possibly can. Hey, we've got everything from night one of the DNC coming up. It frustrates the hell out of me. Why does everybody yell and scream? Proof of life.
We hear you.
I hate the yells. And we can agree and disagree on politics and policy and what. Just don't yell and scream. Everybody's yelling and screaming. I'm sorry. Anyway, I got that off my chest. We want to start a positive today and positive impacts in the community. So we'll get into the DNC. There's an awesome AI video. What would it be like if Donald Trump and Kamala Harris were married and had kids together?
Oh, boy. Are you firing that one up right now?
Yeah, bro, we're going to show it in a bit. We are. We're going to show it in a bit. Why can't we all just love each other? I was laughing, but it was also kind of gross.
Yeah, it is gross.
This AI, it produced a little baby, a Trump-Kamala baby.
Very creepy.
Very creepy.
Very creepy. It is 2024, and it is a very creepy year with everything that's going on. So we got all of that from the DNC, polling numbers, that AI video that I was just talking about, women outside the DNC event talking about their thoughts. I want to get into ESPN firing Sam Ponder. The best female host in sports, in my humble opinion, and they fire right before the season and give no reason. And it could be because she doesn't like men playing or biological men playing in women's sports. And she said that publicly. It's just sad. But anyway, she rocks, and I don't mind saying that. But anyway, we get things kicked off with a woman who I know, and I did a story with on Fox 2 before. April Foster. She's the executive director of Keyway. April, welcome into the studios today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I know. I told Megan we had you in. Megan was all excited. I was excited. I love what you guys do, and we promote companies when we get an opportunity to do that, and what they're doing in the community. You guys are kind of a big deal. You got a TED Talk coming up, which is kind of a big deal. Just to let everybody know what Keyway does again and why you help the women that you help.
Sure. So Keyway is an organization that's been around for about 27 years. We were actually started by nuns and laywomen. They were doing jail ministry. Basically, what was happening is they saw this cycle of reincarceration, women coming back over and over. And so what they did in response to that was they created this mentoring program because women didn't have support once they left incarceration.
Right.
And that was one of the main drivers at that time that was really leading to that reincarceration risk. So throughout this 27-year history, we've continued to work with women and identify what are those specific needs for women and how do we fill the gaps that otherwise aren't going to be filled. So the result of that now is that 27 years later, what started as a mentoring program is now this comprehensive wraparound services model specifically built for women in mind.
It's amazing. Yeah.
April Foster, she is the executive director of Keyway. It's one of those things where when I first did the story and I met women and people who worked at your facility, I think it's easy for people and as humans to judge others as if we've never made a mistake in our life and we never need a second chance, or we don't know all the factors that went into somebody being in a situation where they are, because it's human nature. Listen, I've looked at people in my past, and I think if people haven't done this, they're lying. I just think you're lying. They're like, oh, I wonder what they did to themselves to get themselves into that situation. I love what you do I can't imagine what would be happening if you guys weren't putting women into reentry programs in our society.
Mhm.
Where would they go? What would they do?
Well, they go back to jail.
Exactly.
And that's where these awesome people come in, and you give them all the counseling and the resources they need to try and keep them from re-entering, right?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And could you tell us a little bit about why the women do go back, and a little bit about what their background might be, why they were incarcerated in the first place, and then why it seems like it is a cycle for them to go back?
Absolutely. One of the things, and I talk about this a little bit in the TED Talk that you referenced, but one of the things that I learned very early on is that women go to prison for very different reasons than men. When we look at men, they often go for violent crimes.
Mhm.
Women go for survival crimes. So these are crimes that women commit to support themselves, their families, maybe a substance use habit, maybe to escape an unsafe environment.
Mhm.
So think about women who steal food to feed their families, or maybe they're selling drugs to keep the lights on. So that looks very different than it does for men.
Mhm.
So then when you dig in a little bit more about, well, why do women have to commit survival crimes and men don't? Then it goes back to looking at this trauma history. So when we look at incarcerated women, 98% have extensive trauma histories. So we're looking at child abuse, sexual abuse. This starts early in life and continues on into adulthood. So what happens when that starts? Women don't finish school. They don't get good jobs. They have kids earlier in life, maybe before they're really ready to do that. It sets them up for needing a way to support themselves and their kids.
Mhm.
We're talking with April Foster, the director of Keyway. You're based in the St. Louis area. You guys do a rock star job helping women. I've met women that you guys have helped from that standpoint. How do you fund all of this? How does it go? Because it's not cheap. And I know there are some companies that see the need to help women, and there are companies that help men. There's organizations that help men re-enter because if you don't, or if you don't try to end the cycle, it's just going to continue.
Yeah, so this is my focus. This is my job is to, and I have a couple of folks on my team, and that's what we focus on. So we have some public funding. So we have some money through the Department of Corrections gives us a little bit of money. The City of St. Louis, the Port Authority. So we look at some of those public funding. We also have a lot of foundations, just different groups across the St. Louis region who support the work. Donors, donors and corporations, man, those are so important because those are what we call unrestricted dollars. That means we can use it where we need it most. And so that's really where we need our community to step up in that way.
I wanted to get the shout out too, and sorry to interrupt you for the same, but Wendy's in the Chesterfield Valley, who is an advertiser with us, I know that they're financial supporters for you guys as well. And they were blown away by the work that you did. So I just want to get that out there because they're friends of the show.
And Marla Khan is amazing. She is such a fantastic supporter of Keyway.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. A question for you. So the women before they are released and before they go into transition, are there are there your resources available to them before they are released, or is it strictly after?
So Missouri Department of Corrections has really been focusing on trying to build more resources internally before release. So they are doing more in the realm of job training, looking at ways to address some of those needs. But they can't do everything because we know there's a staff shortage. And so there is a very intentional collaborative effort between Department of Corrections, a lot of reentry organizations. So I think they do the best they can, but it's really hard to make sure that women are connected to mental health services, to livable wage employment, when we have prisons that are in Vandalia or Chillicothe, and they're coming back to urban areas. Yeah. So it looks very different. And so I think they do good work. I know that they see areas for improvement and opportunity for improvement. But in the meantime, we are willing to take on some of that work to make sure that women have exactly what they need.
And how do they qualify for your services, and what is the success rate?
Yeah, so this is a great question. So we actually accept any women with justice involvement. We do focus in on women who are from the St. Louis region, so St. Louis City, St. Louis County. We do take women from other parts of Missouri, but frankly, we do not have the capacity to serve everyone who applies to our program. We serve about 25% of the applicants who need the services or who want the services. That doesn't even count the ones who need it. Our recidivism rate is, so the state average is about 35% go back to prison within a year. Ours is 7%.
That's wonderful.
Okay, that's impressive. How long have you been the executive director?
About 3 years now.
What is the best way for people to get involved that are listening and watching? Because obviously we do a live show here and lots of people watch live, but many more people watch on all of the social media platforms that we're on and YouTube. So whenever they see this, what's the best way for them to either donate with financial means or their time?
They can absolutely give us a call. We're always happy to talk to people. We believe in giving where your heart leads you, whether that's financially, whether that's a service, whether that's a donation drive, whether it's coming in and teaching a life skills class. Maybe you really like cooking and you want to do that, or you want to bring a group in and do a game night. Whatever that looks like, there are a lot of ways to give. You can go directly to our website. There is a donate button on that page. Feel free to go to keyway.stl.org. And there's also a ways to get involved tab on there as well.
Yeah, we have the website up right now as well for people to do that. Just how gratifying, how exciting, how happy does it make you and the workers feel? And especially for the women when they do make it out of the situations that they're in. And I know trauma can stick around, and just because they leave, it doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect. But my gosh, it has to be a gratifying job to see people succeed because of help that they have.
It's amazing. There are absolutely hard days, and there is that 7% who don't make it. But man, the success stories. In fact, just the other day we had 4 women who went into the BUD program, which is Building Union Diversity, because we're really focused on creating pathways to livable wage employment, and trades is a really great way for that to happen. So we had 4 women graduate from that program the other day, and I'm like, oh, look, here they are, here they're with their little diplomas. It's just so nice to see, just to give them a level playing field, to have that they have a safe place to live, that they have their basic needs met, that they're getting some of these job readiness skills and their mental health needs addressed. They can focus on actually building these skills that are going to lead to long-term financial stability. And that's a big deal for us. This isn't just about short-term solutions.
Yeah.
This is about long-term solutions and reducing that recidivism risk.
And so I have a question for you in regards to that. So there's a lot of people listening, watching, and they might say, well, they hear the word prison, they hear the word jail, they hear the word incarceration, drugs, abuse. They hear all of these words and they automatically, systematically have, this idea of someone like, that is a criminal. And so why would they
screw them, forget about them?
Yeah.
They did it to themselves, whatever.
You got it. So why should they consider looking at, an organization like Keyway? What about your organization could change people's minds and make them see these people for being human?
Yeah. So a little bit of background on me is I obviously have worked in the field, but I spent about 10 years of my career working in research. And so it's really important for me. Data is really important for me, right? So for me, I start looking at numbers and what is the financial impact of this kind of program. So I'm going to get into some boring numbers for a minute, but I think it's important. So if we look at incarceration, it costs about $32,000 per year to incarcerate one person. Okay, so the recidivism risk, because most of those people get out, 35% will return within 1 year. So about 1,000 people return each year. Cost to taxpayers is about $32 million. Okay, so take the 150 that Keyway serves every year. And if they didn't receive the services, the cost to taxpayers for 35% recidivism would be about $1.8 million. Okay. Our cost to serve each woman is about $16,652 per person, about half the rate of what it is to incarcerate. Our recidivism rate is 7%. So that is a cost savings of $1.3 million per year.
Wow.
And that's just the cost of incarceration. We're not talking about the fact that most of these women are mothers to minor children. So that's children and child welfare systems. We're not talking about the fact that most of these women have substance use disorder or mental health challenges that aren't addressed. So it's a drain on the healthcare system. We're not talking about the fact that these women are often not working, but our women, 85% of our women secure employment. So they're not just draining the system, they're contributing to the system, right?
Yeah.
So they're paying their taxes. So I can't even tell you the financial impact, but this makes fiscal sense.
No, it does. It absolutely does. April, before we let you go too, can you let people know when is the TED Talk going to air? That's a big deal for Keyway.
Yeah, it is. It will be live at UMSL's Two Hill Auditorium on September 6th at 3 p.m.
How long will it be? How long do you have to talk?
Oh boy, I can talk for hours. So boiling this down into less
What have
than
they
10
given
minutes.
you? Oh, 10 minutes?
The goal is to keep
Oh, you
a
got
TED
this. It's
Talk.
easy. You got this.
Whew. You know what? When your passion for in your entire career has been focused on this one thing, you can talk for hours. So to narrow that down into such a small talk,
You
is
hit the key points. I teach people public speaking. It's easy because you're always like, oh my God, you're the opposite. People are like, how am I going to fill 10 minutes? You're like, how am I going to keep it in 10 minutes? I mean, you keep your key points. You're excellent.
Yeah.
You're a rock star at this. The women who work there are rock stars as well. And I apologize. I was slammed on Saturday and I couldn't get out for the birthday event. I was stuck. I'm sorry.
No problem. Yeah, we had a retirement party for Barbara Baker, who's been our advocacy director for 25 years with this organization. So we're going to miss her, and she just adores Vic. So yeah.
That's great.
I know, and I'm like,
Hey, real quick. I noticed that you have like living homes now, and it seems like you're starting to get more. Am I right about that? Do you have like 3 or 4 places that you actually have beds?
Yes.
And how long can the women stay in these homes?
Yeah. So part of our service, we really focus on individualized care. So what do these women need individually? And so we have different kinds of housing. We have transitional housing where they get all their basic needs met until they kind of get on their feet. They can stay there for up to a year. We have permanent supportive recovery housing is what it's called. So basically they can stay there indefinitely. So it's a little less structured. They have more responsibility there, but it's a place where they can stay with other people who have shared goals. And we're actually getting ready to now add on some what we call stabilization housing. So that's small. So it's about 6 beds, but people who need that immediate access to housing, stabilize them. And then if they choose to move into the transitional or into the permanent supportive housing, they can.
I love that.
Well, we're grateful. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Yeah.
And we'll, of course, catch back up with you. We'll get you some of this information for your guys' website because you guys do such a great job. And keep us posted. We'll look for the TED Talk that's coming up. April Foster, the executive director from Keyway. And if we can help out in any way, let us know. And once again, the website for people to check out if they want to help in any sort of way is what again? Your website that people can go to?
KeywaySTL.org.
All right, KeywaySTL.org.
And I would also like to invite you to our game night fundraiser on October 10th. That is a board game that our staff and participants have created together. It's actually sounds maybe not so interesting, but it's so much fun. It just really helps people understand the challenges. But it's a fun night of just being able to come together and enjoy the time. So,
thank you.
Joe, before we let April go, you were going to say what?
It's keywaycenter.org.
Keywaycenter.org. Keywaycenter.org. Keyway, another one. Keyway Center.
They just went through a name change. And so.
Okay. We got it. Well, April, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And have an
Thank
awesome
you.
day,
And
guys.
thank
We
you for
appreciate
the
it.
work that you guys do.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, this is cancelthisshow.com. Absolutely loved having April on with us today. We'll keep you posted. And if anybody has any questions, you can let us know, of course, when it comes to Keyway and the incredible work that they do. This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust, Meghan Marie Moret in the studio as well. We've got Pro Joe getting things rocking and rolling too. Okay, still to come. We had big DNC first night last night. Obviously, Democrats excited to do everything that they've got going on. We'll get into that. We'll start. The first thing I want to do is Meghan.
Let me slide back
Joe,
over.
well, no, you will, but we can start a video. Or is it better? Should we start a minute and have video and then put her over? Joe, I was trying to. What's the best way for you?
We can do a video.
Okay, here's what I want to do. Joe Biden did not speak last night until after about 11:28, 11:30, and he didn't finish until this morning.
And he did not speak. He screamed.
He screamed, yelled,
He screamed.
proof of life,
Yeah.
lies, anger, rah, rah, rah. This guy is, dude,
Oh my gosh.
it's bad.
Yeah.
And they look at that look for our viewers. That's Joe Biden. Oh,
That's the look I was doing. You said do an impression.
Oh, okay. Listen, we'll go through all the lie. I mean, they didn't even put this poor man. I shouldn't say poor. He deserves everything he gets. And yes, he's going to meet his maker probably sooner than later. And I'm not trying to be mean when I say that, but you are accountable for how you act on this earth. And Joe Biden, who claims to be a Catholic, and he's not, he's a Catholic in name only because it serves him well with certain voters.
Mhm.
He doesn't know the first thing about being a Christian. He doesn't. And I can call
I
that.
agree.
He doesn't. Just listen to him ramble, scream, yell, slur, and lie through a minute 32. And he starts us off. What women don't have electricity? I hope we never see this dude again. And it's unfortunate. He is our president. And there were people just 5 weeks ago. Oh, he's great. People on our chat line. Oh, he's great. Which shows you the mental capacity they have. Here's Joe.
Women are not without electoral border encounters have dropped over 50%. In fact, there are fewer border crossings today than when Donald Trump left office. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "There are very fine people on both sides. My God." That's what he said. That is what he said and what he meant. Oh, from his own chief of staff, the four-star General John Kelly, that Trump, when in Europe, would not go to the grave sites in France. The brave service members who gave their lives to this country. He called them suckers and losers. Who in the hell does he think he is? Who does he think he is? They're the ones we're going to bring back. That's not hyperbole. It's because Medicare no longer has to pay those exorbitant prices to the big pharma. Republicans, Democrats. We saved democracy in 2020, and now we must save it again in 2024. You know, we have 1,000 billionaires in America. He's promising a bloodbath.
We have 1,000 trillion.
If he loses, in his words.
That's in hyperbole. No, it's
oh
not
my
hyperbole.
God. I said I wouldn't laugh anymore because I hate what this man has done to our country. Barack Obama, the deep state, all you just nasty ass Democrats who were involved with the cabal, the deep state, the lies, the cheating. Holy crap.
Unbelievable.
He just, the gift that keeps on giving, the worst speeches, the worst lies in the history of this country, the worst president with the worst vice president in the history of this country, Kamala Harris, the worst ticket. And then they came, 1,000 trillion billionaires.
Well, you know,
And they didn't even let him talk until after prime time, 11:28. He talked for 49. He's talking into Tuesday morning. What an effing freaking, the Democrats, you knew exactly what you were doing. This is why you're liars. This is why you're cheaters. This is why you're stealers. And I can say that because you continue to show us that you are. People will show you who they are.
yes, they will.
You guys are fake as truck, and it's not getting any better. And shame on, you know what? You guys will do us, but shame on the people who think that this is the ticket to vote for. What a bunch of effing morons. Yeah, you are a moron if you are watching and saying that that's the ticket to vote for after what they lied to us about Joe Biden for years. Kamala lied to us. Oh, he's great. And then you don't let him speak until 11:30. Oh my God. And then he gives us that stuff.
Hey, I mean,
he's the president right now. My God, 1,000 trillion millionaires.
And I can only decipher like 1 out of 5 words he says. And then I don't know if anybody else realized last night, he said hyperbole probably 6 or 7 times. And he has to say that because he needs to make sure that people realize that what is about to come out of his mouth next, 90% might not be a lie. So he has to make sure, like, I'm going to go ahead and tell you now because you guys are used to me lying all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is, this isn't hyperbole so that you will actually listen to what he's saying and not just like let it go in one ear and out the other. But I have to say this. I got to tell you this. So I'm watching, everything go down last night, and his daughter comes out and she gives a speech. We never really hear from her. And, I'm conflicted on what to make of her anyway, just considering what she wrote in her diary.
She is bought and paid for, Megan.
Yeah.
She has been taken care of mightily. Trust me.
Yeah.
And they know that's why they've brought her front and center now, because she was a big thorn in his side.
Well, she got up there and, made everybody kind of, have tears in their eyes. So I'm like, feeling for this guy for a minute. I'm like, oh my gosh, look what they have done to this guy. Why couldn't they have done this a year ago, 6 months ago, 4 months ago, any time? But to let this guy go all the way down to the wire, and then they, like I said yesterday, they cooed him out. They did what their little bait and switch down to the very last minute, and I felt bad for him. But then he gets up there and within 1.5 seconds, he's screaming and lying. And it's like, okay.
That's why they put him at 11:30.
Yeah.
Past prime time. They want to disassociate him from Kamala as much as they can. We've been talking about it. Everybody with a quarter of a brain knows this. But she is Joe Biden. The media is going to try to lie, cheat, and steal as they do. You can't trust local. You can't trust national. Let me give you a recap of Joe Biden real quick. 1, you heard it. He said women are without electrical power.
Yeah.
Okay. He also said border crossings are down under his administration compared to Trump. What the truck? Oh, that's not it. He repeated the fine people hoax rumor from South Carolina. That was not true. Trump never, ever, ever said that when it came to, quote, Nazis. Fine people on both sides. It's a bunch of crap. It's a bunch of lies, which the media will continue to do. He repeated the suckers and losers hoax, which Trump never said about military members. That's not it. He screamed, yelled loud at the crowd, proof of life. Mm-hmm. He clearly gets confused when he talks about Medicare. And he did last night. He doesn't know the difference. He doesn't grasp the policy or the concept of Medicare and insurance and how it works. He also said that Democrats have to save democracy again. This guy was forcibly removed. Nancy Pelosi even admitted it last night. And then he also shared the bloodbath hoax again. This guy had one of the worst speeches again. He outdoes himself all the time. This is what the Democrats and the party is all about. He commanded Kamala Harris with fixing the border, being the border czar. We showed you the video. We showed you the clips. We showed you the national press clippings from the liberal media outlets claiming this is Kamala's job. And now they're trying to disassociate it with it because, once again, if you have the media, you can try to control the messaging. They're liars. They're cheaters. They're stealers. They're yellers. They're screamers. And if that's what you want to vote for, go to it. But we're going to call out the truth right now. And you can't say we're wrong because we produce the facts.
Mm-hmm. And for the rest of the week, you're not going to see, hear, or even think about Joe Biden. They put him in at the beginning. They got it over with, sent him on the plane. He's gone. And now it's going to be Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. Who is Joe Biden? And now is when they are going to try, if they can, to separate her from him as much as they possibly can.
Oh, and they need to. It is so, so bad. So Joe Biden was there last night. Hillary Clinton spoke. She's nasty. Just, she was gross, but it was just a bunch of lies. Case in point, Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow. Now, Michigan produces some nasty ass politicians. I mean, from Gretchen Whitmer lying, cheating, stealing, to Dana Nessel, who said every school, the attorney general, every school needs a drag queen, to this joke of a politician, Mallory McMorrow, who came out last night and look what she's promoting the same lie. Once again, we don't just talk about our feelings like Democrats do. Well, I don't like this. I don't feel, and you have no fact. That's why Democrats are uneducated. They try to get you on feeling. They don't get you on fact, because I feel bad for them. They're just less educated than most of us as conservatives. They are, and they prove it. If you can't talk fact, then you are less educated. That's why she's trying to say that Donald Trump's all about Project 2025, when even the liberal media outlets have proven he's not, and he has talked about it, but they're trying to pin all this lie on him. Look what she did last night.
Hello! I'm Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, and this is Project 2025.
Okay, look at that look. That's her.
Hello.
It's a demon on her.
Ooh, honey.
She looked like a lizard as Gordon. She did.
Yeah. Hey, did you know that
the reptilians have invaded us through the Democratic Party, and I would not.
She looks like one of those AI people that show up for the rallies at Kamala's rallies. But she's not she has not been AI. That's just her.
Oh my
But hey,
God.
so Donald Trump
Logan says it reminds him of the movie The Mask.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Donald Trump wants to sue the DNC for projecting an image of Project 2025 on the Trump Tower in Chicago. He's like, why are you, projecting that on my building? I have nothing to do with it. How many times can this man say he has nothing to do with this? I mean, it would be like us putting a swastika on the White House, projecting that.
It's so bad.
And Joe Biden's like, I have nothing to do with that. Well, it doesn't matter, because we're just going to go ahead and put it on there anyway, because we want to. So, yeah, the
DNC had a bad night. Democrats love it because they need something to feel good about. So they're going to promote the crap and say that it's wonderful and it smells great, and it doesn't. It is.
They couldn't even keep on schedule.
The crap is crap.
The whole night was done. They couldn't even sing You've Got a Friend. They couldn't even do that. Yeah, that was on the roster. That was supposed to happen. So everything kept having to get bumped. So Brett Baer is sitting there, and he's like, oop, looked down at his phone, and him and Martha are cracking up. They're like, oh, so-and-so just got X'd off the list. So-and-so can't talk now. So there were 3 or 4 people, including the singer, that couldn't go on.
Democrats are just not smart people. And I'm sorry, because we show the evidence. They are not. I know some other people say it's a mental illness, and it may be because of where the party has gone so far left, not even thinking about kids or our economy. It's all about whatever makes you feel good, just a selfish attitude, selfish policies. And we saw it again last night. Look at Kamala. She looked crazy last night. Now, we know that she may be an alcoholic, maybe a drug user. We don't know for sure. Something's off with her. Look at that look. Hey, they're just unhinged people. You know what?
And she was fake crying too.
Yeah, they're the weird ones. They're very weird and icky. And once again, not trying to be mean, it's just the image. When you start attacking other people like they did with Donald Trump with lies, you open yourself up for criticism like this. When you're a public person, you open yourself up for criticism. Talk on fact and policy, and don't lie. Listen to her talk last night.
Good evening. It is so good to be with everyone this evening in this hall and everyone at home. This is going to be a great week. And I want to kick us off by celebrating our incredible President Joe Biden, who will be speaking later tonight. Joe, thank you for your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you. Good evening.
She told everyone like she's an elementary school teacher, first grader.
Well, maybe tonight, though, we're going to get this again. We're going to get, well, so let's talk about the economy, folks. Let's talk about this.
When people don't, and this is one thing I know about public speaking too, and being an anchor for so long, when people don't know what to say and they can't think and they just can't generate and hey, there's some people who generate faster than I do, and there's others who don't. But I will tell you this. You can always tell somebody who isn't really sure of what they're going to say by how slow they talk.
Yes.
They
indeed.
don't. I'm not saying you have to be the old FedEx guy that goes, I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go for it. But my God, what a freaking show she has become. People, do not let yourself ever. Most of the people watch the show do not get fazed by what's going on, but that's how you can tell how they talk.
I was fazed last night by just looking at the crowd. Did anyone else, just for entertainment value, look at the people in the crowd? You want to talk about weird? Oh my. I mean, there were some strange folks in that crowd last night. And who was that was with Kamala's husband at the beginning getting pictures? Was that his daughter? Did anyone else?
It's his daughter.
Wow.
The second gentleman's daughter /son/ whatever. I mean,
it looked like she had a 4-year-old come up and do little cartoons all over her body.
Yeah.
Before she came up with like a ballpoint pen.
I'm
telling you.
She was not appropriately dressed, but whatever. It is what it is. They're not a smart group. Jamie Raskin, a Jewish man who has voted in Congress against Jewish aid to help Jews. This guy also said he will do whatever it takes to try to keep Donald Trump out of the office, to go after Trump supporters if he by chance wins the election. He said this. We showed you this soundbite 2 weeks ago. Well, look at Jamie last night. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's not the brightest bulb. And my God, if he didn't have his poor little teleprompter, look how he froze up. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, the DNC was just a shit show last night. Here it is.
Someone should have told Donald Trump that the president's job under Article 2 of the Constitution Someone should have told Donald Trump.
Get this guy off the stage.
I know this guy is a hater. He's a mean guy. He's a monger. This guy is a bully, and he can't even speak.
No, and the scary thing, Vic, is he's on the oversight committee.
Oh, shit.
So yeah,
which fortunately is led by Republicans. Thank God.
Yeah, but he's been actually pretty, voiceful, if that's a word. But he's been pretty opinionated about trying to get to the bottom of the Trump assassination, not because he likes Trump, not because he really cares, not because he's upset that he was, almost killed. Has nothing to do with that. It's because he needs to make sure he does his due diligence in case something were to turn around and come back at the Democrats.
Donna says they're the demolition Democrats. Tanya says they're all idiots, an AI glitch. All kinds of crap going on there last night from Kamala. Joe Biden's speech, as we showed you and broke it down, was terrible. Hillary Clinton, she's just trying to bask in any sort of moment after she got her ass beat by Trump. She's been all butthurt ever since. We know that that's going on. But also, before the night began, I thought this was very interesting. Outside, Black women in Chicago, don't think for a second that Donald Trump's not going to get close to 20% of the African-American vote, because African-Americans have had it. We've talked to them on the show. They've had it. They know that the Democratic Party is lies and only look for their votes every election season. That's when they come and they don't help. And there's a reason why the blue cities continue to stay as they are. Run down, not great places, high crime, because they don't have leaders that care about them. They care about lining their pockets. And that's what we've seen with the Democratic Party. this is another, and we've been showing you these videos all over New Jersey, New York, Texas, California, and now one from outside in Chicago. This is video gold.
What do you guys think about Kamala?
It'll be cool.
She's terrible. If she comes into office, it will be done.
It'll be cool to see a female black. You know, she's half black, not fully black, but it'll be cool to see a black president,
Western Indian.
female black president. But I'm definitely voting for Trump.
Let me tell you something. She tries to get the black vote because if you look at her past things and maybe 10, 15 years ago when she's in interviews, she identifies as West Indian.
She does.
The only way that she's identified as African American is right now, right now, because she wants the voters. But she doesn't give a fuck. Because where was she at in these past 4 years and she's vice president? What has she done for us?
She have not.
Can
done
you
shit.
say one thing that
I didn't even know she was the vice president.
Can we say what she has done?
Let's go, Trump.
And I am going to stand on Trump, and I'm so sorry if that may ruffle people's feathers, but
sorry.
I have done my own research, and Trump has done a lot for us, more than what the media tries to portray. They're getting all our favorite rappers. They're having Megan Thee Stallion twerk and all of that to gain, because they think that that's going to make us vote for them, and that's not.
And that never got my vote.
And that will never get my vote. And I'm going to stand on that. Twerking
did
and
not get my
having
vote.
Meg Thee Stallion. First off, the
That's
song that she was even saying is very ignorant.
What? That girl she is for real.
Hey now.
And she does not have her blinders on. I mean, she sees it and she's calling it for exactly what it is. She knows that Kamala is two-faced. She knows that she's going to lie depending on who's in her audience. And this girl is like, you have done nothing for the black community. You can get Meg Thee Stallion twerking all you want and bring her in. I ain't falling for it. It isn't going to happen. So I like her. I like that she, she's just not hopping on the bandwagon because Kamala's black or because she's a female. She's calling it like it is. And more people, like you said, Vic, they are coming around and they are really, really, aware that the Democrats have not done anything for their communities. Case in point, all of these people, thousands of people showing up to Chicago for the DNC and walking into that building and not paying attention for 1 second what is going on inside that city with the homeless, with the drugs, with the illegals, with the horrible education system.
Oh my God. Do you know that 1 in 4 kids in Chicago can't read at their grade level?
Yes.
1 in freaking 4. That's in Chicago. But they're not talking about that. Everything's about, Donald Trump's so mean and bad and selfish.
Yeah.
If Donald Trump was mean and bad and selfish, he wouldn't have given up and put himself in the line of fire, literally, on so many issues and so many things and subjected himself to what he is. He gains nothing by being president. Nothing.
And did you see all of those uniformed police officers, Chicago's best, just lining those streets to protect all of those people that want to defund them, that don't even want them to exist? And they show up, they put their vest on, and they are there to protect those jerkbags that are constantly trying to defund them and take money away from them, do budget cuts. And guess what? We all know the first thing that one of those people is going to do. They're going to grab their phone and they're going to 911 and they're going to call the cops and they're going to demand fast action. I mean, can you imagine if someone didn't show up for these people? I mean, then they'd be, pulling the race card. I'll bet you that the dispatch that answered the phone was white and here I am, black person trying to call for help. And they didn't. I mean, you just never know with these people.
No, you don't. And the media is not going to help it. I love this. CBS ran this polling yesterday and then they immediately pulled it.
Yeah.
Okay. National polling will tell you, Kamala's doing well. It's a tight race, blah, blah, blah. This is what's awesome. Literally, CBS News ran this and it's the YouGov poll. These are massive issues. I can't think of anything that would be more important right now in our country. And everybody has their own deal, and that's fine. On the economy, over 13%. She's done shit. She's done nothing. Inflation. Hello, Kamala, you are a part of the problem. Just like Maury Povich used to say, you are the mother of this problem. You created this problem. And the border.
Yep.
You're a dumbass. Kamala. You are the border czar. This is your F. This is your F that's pinned right to your lapel, baby. 76% to 24. Once again, this is liberal CBS who posted this. And then guess what? They pulled it. But not before we got it.
That's right. So, and the Dems will do.
They are liars, cheaters, stealers. I'll be nice.
Well,
I'll leave it there.
But all of those facts right there that were those three things that were on that poll: economy, inflation, border crisis. The Democrats will do anything they can to make sure that their listeners, that their audience, that they think that all of these issues is due to Trump, due to his administration. They're acting like they were the ones that had to come in and take over and redo everything that Trump did. And they also want to talk a lot about crime and violence. They don't want to take any responsibility that they allowed these cities to run rampant with violence. They want to point it to Trump that he had zero control and, you know, he let guns go crazy. Well, during the pandemic, it was facts. It was statistics showed that people were out. They were going crazy. They were animalistic during this time. So crime was up. It had nothing to do with the fact that Trump was in office. They don't want to take the pandemic into, you know, any reference at all as to why people lost their jobs. They just want to come in and talk about how Biden secured all these jobs and employment went up and look at all these jobs and look how wonderful I am. I created all this. No, it was the jobs that everybody had before the pandemic. So again, these Democrat voters, they fall for all of this. They listen to this. And for the morons that believe that there are less border crossings now than when Trump was in office, I hate to say this, but you have got to be a fool, just a fool inside and out to believe that remark.
That's right. The DNC is going to continue to lie all week. They're going to continue to tell you how awesome things will be with them and how bad it is with Donald Trump. I think you know the difference. But Donald Trump continuing to make waves. He also said yesterday that he would offer Elon Musk a cabinet position if he wanted one. I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like,
Musk posted this morning that he would serve his country.
Yeah. I would not be surprised.
He's now an American.
Well, I mean, he would serve his country. Like he would
help.
Yes.
He is an African American.
Yeah, he is.
Kamala Harris isn't.
No, she isn't.
Elon's an African American.
Yeah. She's an American, but
I love
isn't
that.
an African American.
One other thing that's happening. We talk about the good news too in the midst of everything else is happening, but this was breaking news that came out overnight too. The Georgia Election Board voted to mandate election workers to compare the total number of ballots cast with the total number of unique voter ID numbers in the system. Well, isn't that a novel idea? Shouldn't we have already had that? You mean they actually voted to make sure that the vote numbers match up in Georgia? I'm sorry. I call this a win. I do. I call this a win. If that's happening in the state of Georgia, and we know it should be happening somewhere else. But we also know that what the Democrats have done by bringing all the illegal voters into 3 swing states as well, including Ohio, Texas, and Pennsylvania. But I think it's awesome that Trump's still making news in the midst of what's happening with the DNC this week.
I do too. And like I keep saying, I want him to keep plugging along and just keeping his focus on policy, and just making people feel good about what he's going to do to make America great again.
And I don't think conservatives should get upset. You know, the media, local and national, they do not like you. They don't care about you, and they don't care about your future. They care about getting the story out. They care about getting their paycheck. As I was told several times, Vic, pipe down. Just collect your really nice check. You're paid very, very nice. Pick your battles. Don't say anything. Just do what you're told to do.
Yeah.
The local media, the national media, they don't care about you. They don't. I lived it. I've got no axe to grind. They don't care. And the problem that you have now is the fact that you've got to figure out what's the best thing for you.
And if you want, higher taxes, and if you like inflation, and if you like having to support all of these millions and millions of illegal, aliens coming into our country, if you're okay supporting them, feeding them, housing them, educating them, doing all these things for these people when we cannot even do that for our own citizens. If you are okay doing that, and if you want to give to that, and if you want to show up, because guess what? All of these people, this doesn't just happen with the snap of a finger. I mean, people have to give, whether it's financially or with their time. And I have not met one Democrat that is helping any of these illegals that are coming into this country. They're just sitting back. Usually it's behind their phone or their computer, thumb driving all day long, just talking about how great it would be and not doing a darn thing about it. So, but if you're okay with that, then hey, vote that way. I mean, it'll be great, for you. And we'll just keep working. The rest of us will just keep working and, giving our time and trying to make sure that Americans first are being taken care of. And that's the other thing too that really got me is people want to talk about the tariffs that Trump wants to put on, these foreign products and stuff. You are darn right. I say tax the living daylights out of it. 90% of our pharmaceuticals are coming out of China. Are you kidding me? Why can't we do it here? Why shouldn't we tax when they're bringing things over here? It's called America First. We need to start using our own resources, doing our own things instead of buying things.
Starting with oil.
Yeah, exactly. From our foreign adversaries.
Drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
Trump has been on it from the get-go. You guys,
we're buying stuff every day. I mean, trillions of dollars worth of goods from our enemies when we could do it here. It's not rocket science.
We're 30 days in, and Kamala Harris has still not done a press conference. Once again, we talk about facts. My facts dictate my feelings. Facts dictate our feelings here. There's no truth. There's no facts with Kamala Harris. And another situation that happened, because we know who Kamala Harris is. Kamala Harris has now said she will not debate Donald Trump on Fox News.
Of course she won't.
Once again, Democrats are fake, phonies, liars, yellers, cheaters, stealers, and as somebody added earlier, skanks. I was like, okay, fine. We'll add skanks. You guys rock on the chat line. And it's because of what they show us, not just because that's what we want to say. They're just not good people. They don't have good hearts.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. If you're a liar, you don't have a good heart. If you lie, you don't have a good heart. Maybe once, maybe twice, but if you continue to lie, you don't have a good heart. And that's what they have shown us. And now, of course, we knew she's afraid. She can't handle the Trump train.
No.
She can't handle the Trump Express.
No way.
Man.
No.
He would daddy her all over the stage.
Oh boy. I can't wait. I cannot come.
She'd be on her knees. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, don't say that. But no, it's going to be good. At this point, I don't even care where it's at. I mean, literally, it could be, outside in Central Park. I'm like, I don't care where it is. Let's just get to it already because this is the hump that we need to get over.
He did just fine on Biden under Biden's term, so I think he'll do just fine.
He's going to be great.
The game has changed. I don't trust him.
Well,
I don't trust
but
it.
it
I don't
should
trust
change.
him.
I mean, because Donald Trump's the only one that's been playing fairly in this game.
I don't think he should play fairly anymore.
Well, he's trying to say, no, we're going to do it on my terms now.
Yes.
And then these goofballs are like, no, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to do it our way. Because we like to whine and we like to act like we're being bullied and everything else. And it's like, just show up, just put your pearls and polyester on, just show up. It's not,
one of the disillusioned Democrats on the chat line said he's willing to buy everybody airline tickets to leave the country when she wins. Okay.
Oh no, I got to stick around for this.
We're unlike the lying, cheating
crap show.
Democrats, this is our country. We're patriots. We're true patriots. We're God-fearing, conservative, loving, value men and women who love God, who love this country, who love the values, and are sticking up for it and will fight for it. Not like the Democrats who want to come in and be the Johnny lately. We'll take care of you. Not going to do it.
These colors don't run.
Yeah,
that's right, baby.
Hey, there you go, Joe. But yeah, we got to stick around. We got to make sure that, that our country doesn't get, even more wrecked as it's been for the last 3.5, 4 years.
There's going to be more lies, cheating, stealing, the lies against Donald Trump. At least 20 lies last night. I counted at least 20 lies.
I say we just let the whole dang Taliban in over our open border.
Don't give them any ideas.
Yeah, that's true. We're already allowing terrorists to just literally walk through our back door.
We probably have allowed them over, by the way.
We probably have.
We have. We've already been told
they
that.
They probably had a pajama party over at Cammie's house.
We do have, we get pretty, direct when it comes to certain things, but also somebody did this AI video. I watched it and I thought it was funny. Then I thought it was kind of gross. I'd be curious to see what people's opinions are, because we know AI can do a lot of different things.
Oh yeah.
This is Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, like being lovers, married, even having a little Trump baby. Kamala wishes she could have all of this in her dreams, because secretly she adores Trump. She wishes she had a real man, not this Imhoff dude. That's the second lady. That's what I'll refer, or the second gentleman. I'll call him the second lady. She wants a real man like DJT. She's got Donald Trump syndrome, but in a positive way. Here. Oh.
He's got painted nails when he's rubbing her belly.
He does. Oh my goodness.
We get it. We'll just play it through one more time.
Painted nails and a wedding ring.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's
cute,
funny.
I
know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I know. Kimberly's like, ew, Trisha's laughing. I first thought it was funny until I saw the pregnant belly and I went, oh, we're trying to have some fun on the show too.
It looks like there's at least twins in there,
Oh yeah, it sure did.
A big one.
Hey, but did you know that Barron Trump and his buddy Bo, they're like super savvy, on social media and stuff. And streaming, they're the ones who hooked up and got the deal with Aiden Ross.
Really?
To come,
smart.
yeah. So these two, this Bo kid, he's 17. He's great friends with Barron. Barron's 18. But these guys are like super savvy and really, really working hard to try and pump out some good material.
Well, Barron Trump was trying to get involved in politics, and he was going to be a delegate. Then he decided against it.
Yeah.
But both Melania and Donald Trump talk about how brilliant he is. And his IQ level is off the charts.
It is.
And he might be the most intelligent child that's ever lived in the White House. That's what they're talking about right now. And of course, he's Donald Trump's son. So all you haters, you're going to hate, but you are the ones that can't produce any sort of good policy that helps this country.
Yeah. Barron speaks 4 other languages, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, is that it?
English.
Yeah. Is
fluently.
that it? Of course.
Yeah.
Because he's a Trump, and everything the Trumps do right now kicks ass.
Yeah. And it's probably just because Trump is rich. That's the word that they like to say, that he's rich,
It's
that
gonna
his
be
son
huge.
is able to speak 4 different languages.
Barron's incredibly smart. He's a rock star.
Hey, but real quick. So AOC last night, you guys know how much I just love AOC.
I saw a great video of her, like horse face, like
she was insane. But she's up there last night, and she didn't know what to say. And I just thought it was so funny because you've got Trump. So they're always ripping on Trump because, he didn't have to work. He didn't have to do anything, which is bull. I mean, just because a parent gives you money, you get a choice. You can either blow it or you can make it bigger and better. And that's what he chose to do.
Exactly.
And then you've got someone like JD Vance. You want to talk about a self-made man. I mean, he climbed his way out of the most impoverished situation that he could. And so, he's not good enough for that either. But yet last night, AOC wanted to make sure that everyone knew that poor Kamala knows what it's like to come from a middle class family. She knows what it's like to have to pay rent and to work when you're in college. And she knows what it's like when you watch your parents, who are both really educated people, mind you, have to save money to get their first home. The the relation and the relative parallel that she tried to, give for Kamala Harris made 0 sense. Nice try. You're not going to sit here and try to make us all believe that she's, this poor Indian black girl, poor thing, came from middle class. They need to find a different way. I mean, that's not going to make us, want to support her more. It's just not. And we don't feel sorry for her for growing up middle class in America, while you go to downtown Chicago and, people, are sleeping in a trash bag.
Before we get out of here, Joe, can we share the video with Charlie Kirk? I love Charlie Kirk, and I've said this before. I love everything about him. I love how he handles his business. I love how he's super educated and he doesn't speak on a topic unless he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't get caught up like Democrats in Congress when it comes to lying. Well, we're going to just talk about how we feel. This is what we think. And it's because we think this, you should follow us. So he was at the DNC yesterday, and this young Democrat dude comes up and tries a gotcha moment on him. Charlie's just there checking things out. This is how you handle a Democrat. We are doing a class one-on-one, how to handle Democrats. And Charlie gets the last laugh.
Republican governor and Republican Secretary of State in the state of Georgia.
What's your name? You said Parker?
My name's Parker. We have a Republican governor and Republican Secretary of State in Georgia that approved our elections, and Donald Trump said that wasn't constitutional.
Right,
Donald Trump tried to undermine our Constitution.
You're at 10. I just walked in. I'm here to just learn.
You're an anti-patriotic, anti-constitutional person crashing our party because you tried to stop our democracy.
I got one question.
Donald Trump called the Secretary of State of Georgia and told him to find him some votes.
What is a woman?
Oh my God. That is so fucking weird, y'all. Maybe you should meet one.
I'm married to one.
Same. Because we have a Republican governor and a Republican Secretary of State in the state of Georgia.
A Democrat and a Republican.
Yep.
Parker is a Democrat. Charlie is a Republican.
Yeah.
And there is no better way to show you the difference between the two parties.
And who's running away?
Ambush.
Why is it weird to define what a woman is? Why is
oh my God. And I'd be shocked if
because
Parker
they don't
really
want to do it.
Right.
They literally do not want to do it.
That, but why does he use the terminology weird? Why is that weird?
And I don't
because
think Parker
that's their new buzzword.
And Parker can be who he wants to be, but I don't think Parker is married to a woman.
Yeah, I don't think that he is either.
And that's fine.
He might have a sister or two.
Just don't lie. Once again, be who you are. Don't effing lie. We're tired of all the lies.
Yeah. So this guy comes in. He wants to, have this shock factor, come in and ambush this guy. He wants to start it, but guess what? He's not going to stick around to finish it because he can't. He can't do it. And that is just so typical of these people to come in, try to spew stuff all over you, vomit all of these ridiculous ideologies that they have. And then once you question it and you actually use your brain with a legit question, they melt. They don't know what to do. And then they run just like this guy did. Happens all the time. So forget having, I always say, I love having constructive conversations, hard conversations with people, but you can't. You truly cannot do it. And that's unfortunate.
All right.
So,
well, we appreciate you guys jumping in for the show today. I know it went super, super fast. Special thanks to April Foster from Keyway, who came in today to talk about the great work that they do. And we'll be promoting the great work that our very own Meghan Marie does as well when it comes to helping kids. And you work with older people too, who've been trafficked as well, correct?
I do. Yeah, not as much as
when
children.
When are you going to be dropping these episodes? I know you're working on them.
Okay. Well, today I'm doing 2 more, and Joe and I will talk about that today and see when we can.
But when you drop it, you're going to drop at least like 4 or 6, right?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not that many. Maybe.
Well,
just
I'm trying to promote the hell out of you right now.
Maybe just a couple at a time. Yeah. I think. I don't know.
Chris said,
I don't know.
Chris said, by the way, the Parker guy we just showed, he's like, Parker may not be gay, but his boyfriend is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Parker is definitely the man in that relationship, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well,
cuss and run away. Parker
whatever.
dreams he's a woman from Tanya. Chris says, I doubt Parker is married to a woman, a real woman.
Hey,
Okay.
and I got to give props to everybody that was on our chat line today, because even though I couldn't respond and comment, I was watching, and you guys were awesome and hilarious today. And I loved how you guys stood your ground. and you guys were, making sure that you don't let anybody come in and start talking smack. And
all are
you
welcome.
guys
Just
are-
back it with fact.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys rocked. We rocked. I love this show, and it's what we do. Parker's not gay, but his boyfriend is. Okay. All right, guys.
Oh,
We love you.
goodness.
Thanks for promoting us. Like us, subscribe us on all of our platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube. We're at Facebook, Rumble, X. We're really big as well. And just let Connie says we can fix
Yes.
Democrat markup with Parker. They'd be a great mix.
Oh, you get working on that.
Actually,
Connie.
Mark Harris and Parker would be good. Mark and Park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Marky and Parky.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they can look at each other and cry.
Mark would like to.
They can hope they can carry their Kleenex box around.
All right. We're getting out of here. It's only Tuesday, right?
Yeah. We'll
Damn,
see
it
you
feels like a Friday.
Thursday. Mm-hmm.
Drinks are on the house. All right. Love you guys. For Pro Joe and Meghan Marie Moret, I'm Vic Faust. This is Cancel This, the fastest hour, no doubt, in podcasting politics. Thank you for your support. Like, subscribe, share the show. Let people know about what we're doing. Please go to canceltheshow.com. Check out our advertisers. Check out our sponsors. If you know of anybody that wants to get involved with this, let us know. We can do all sorts of things. Or people who just want to make donations to what we're doing for our free speech to keep it alive. You can do that at canceltheshow.com on your laptop and or on your phone. Anything helps. We are grateful for it. So have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.